Look, I need you to really hear me out before you scroll past. What I'm about to tell you took me 77 years to figure out, and I swear to you, whether you're on your knees praying 5 times a day or you've never set foot in a sanctuary, this matters. So please, just give me a few minutes. Don't go anywhere. My name is Arthur. I just turned 77, and I've spent my entire life wrestling with one specific question that I think every single person faces at some point. What do I actually believe? You see, I grew up in a home where Sunday service wasn't optional. We were in those pews every single week, rain or shine. My father was a church elder. My mother led the choir. I had verses memorized before I could even read properly. Back then, everything seemed so sharp, so defined. The answers were right there in black and white. And if you had doubts, well, you swallowed them. But honestly, here's the thing nobody tells you when you're a kid. Life doesn't care about how certain you are. It hits you with experiences that just don't fit into the neat little boxes you were given. When I was 24, I watched my closest friend die in a motorcycle wreck. He was a solid man, better than me in most ways. He looked out for people, he was kind, giving, and just like that, he was gone. I remember standing at his funeral, hearing all the standard lines about God's will and a better place. And for the first time, I felt rage. Not grief, but pure rage, because none of it added up anymore. That anger lit a fire in me I couldn't put out. I started asking questions, hard questions, not the kind you ask in Bible study where everyone nods at the answer. I read everything I could get my hands on. The Bible, yes, but also the Quran, Taoist poetry, Hindu scriptures, even essays by folks who didn't believe in a thing. And you know what I found? There was a thread of truth in every single one, in every one. I met a man once, this must be 32 years ago now, who was a devout Muslim. We were colleagues. And at first, I'll be honest, I kept my guard up. I had all these assumptions about what he believed, what he thought of me and my faith. But one night, we got stuck at the office until 10:30 p.m. finishing a job, and we started talking. I mean, really talking. He told me about the pillars of his faith, what prayer did for his soul, about charity and surrendering to something vast. And it hit me, sitting there late at night in a quiet building, that he was describing the exact same longing I felt every time I bowed my head to pray. The language was different, the movements weren't the same, but the hunger, that need to connect to something beyond us, it was identical. Now listen closely. I know what you're thinking. You think I'm about to say all religions are exactly the same, that it doesn't matter what you pick as long as you're nice. That's not it. Not at all. Because here's what I've learned in 77 years. The differences matter. They matter because they are different maps for navigating the mystery of being alive. They are different dialects for speaking about things that are almost unspeakable. But here's the kicker. Every religious path I've ever walked down, every single one, circles back to the same core truth. Love people, lift people up, don't be cruel, be humble, accept that you don't know it all. I've been to Jewish cedars where I felt the weight of history and survival in the room. I've sat in silence with Buddhists and felt a peace I didn't think was attainable. I've worshipped with charismatics who showed joy in ways that would have terrified my old pastor. And every time I found something real, something genuine that pointed toward truth. But I have to be real with you, I've seen the ugly side too. I've seen religion used like a club to beat people down. I've seen families destroyed because a daughter married outside the faith. I've seen kids thrown out on the street for asking honest questions. I've seen wars, hate justified, and brutality committed, all in the name of the divine. And every time it breaks my heart, because that is not what this is supposed to be. You know, when I turned 52, I hit a wall. My wife and I were drifting apart. Money was scarce. I was drinking way more than I should have. And one night, I found myself on my back porch at 3 a.m. and did something I hadn't done in ages. I prayed, but not the polished prayers of my youth. I didn't quote scripture or use holy words. I just spoke. I said, I don't know if you're out there. I don't know if you care. I don't even know what I believe anymore. But if there's anything real, I need a hand. I can't carry this alone. And, well, guess what? The sky didn't open. No booming voice. But the next morning, my neighbour, a fella I barely spoke to, knocked on my screen door and asked if I wanted to get some breakfast. We sat there talking for 4 hours. He opened up about his own battles with addiction, how he found a way out, about support groups in our town that I was blind to. Was that God? Was that luck? Was that just a human being decent? I honestly don't know. And here's the conclusion I've come to. Maybe it doesn't matter. The older I get, the less I care about the specifics. I don't know if there's pearly gates or fire. I don't know if we come back as something else, or if the lights just go out. I don't know which day is the right Sabbath. And you know what? I'm at peace with that. Because what I do know, what I am sure of after 77 years, is this. The mystery is bigger than us. It's bigger than any text, any temple, any dogma. And the only honest response to that mystery isn't arrogance, it's awe, it's humility, it's wonder. I see young folks today walking away from faith in waves, and I get it. They've seen the fakes. They've felt the judgment. They've been burned by people claiming to hold the keys to the kingdom. And I want to tell them, I hear you, I really do. But I also want to say, don't toss out the search for meaning just because someone muddied the water. Don't give up on the big questions just because you got lazy answers. Look, you don't have to swallow everything you were fed. You don't have to stay in a church that starves your spirit. But don't stop asking. Don't stop looking for connection, for a reason, for something that makes you feel small in a good way. Because that pull, that's not brainwashing. That's human. That's real. You see, I still go to service most Sundays. Not because I think I'm holier than thou, not because I think it's my ticket to heaven. I go because sitting with other flawed people, singing together, being quiet together, struggling with life together, that feeds something deep in me. But I also have a Muslim friend. We grab lunch every Tuesday. I read Buddhist philosophy before bed. I learn from atheists who have thought about right and wrong way, harder than most churchgoers I know. And, well, here's what it all taught me. The goal isn't to be right. The goal is to stay curious, stay humble, realize that everyone you cross paths with holds their own shard of the truth, even if it looks nothing like yours. Especially then. My wife passed away 4 years ago. We were married 54 years. And in those last days, when she was fading, she asked me, Arthur, do you think we'll be together again? I looked at her, the woman I'd loved for most of my life, and I said, I don't know, honey, but I hope so. And if there's any justice in this universe, any love at the core of it all, then yes, I have to believe yes. Was that faith, hope, just comfort? Again, maybe the label doesn't matter. I've learned that the main thing isn't the theology you hold, it's how you treat people because of it. If your belief makes you more loving, more kind, more humble, more ready to help, then it's working. If it makes you bitter, cruel, proud, or scared, then something is broken. And that holds true whether you're Christian, Muslim, Jewish, Hindu, Buddhist, or nothing at all. Honestly, I'm 77. I've got maybe another 8 years, if I'm lucky. And I'm still learning, I'm still asking, I'm still getting surprised by where I find truth and beauty. And I wouldn't trade that for certainty. So listen, whether you're a true believer or think this is all fairy tales, whether you're on the fence or just lost, I want you to know this. Your questions matter. Your doubts aren't a sign of failure. Your search for meaning is the most human thing you do. Don't let anyone steal that. Don't let anyone tell you they have the final answer when the mystery is too big for any human brain to pack in. Stay curious, stay humble, love people, help people, be kind, and keep asking the big questions. That's what makes us who we are. You know, there's a channel here where guys my age talk about what we've learned from living, failing, doubting, and growing. If this hit home for you, I'd appreciate it if you subscribed and hit the bell. Maybe something we share will help you down the road. And hey, if you've got a story, something the world needs to hear, fill out the form below. The next video could be yours. Keep searching, keep asking, keep being kind.